Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is unpop this strap. There's an airspace, as you can see, between the top here and the edge of this molding. This provides us with another airspace when the telescoping cover is on. This little keyhole here provides communication between the top of the Hive box and this top frame box. Bees come in lots of different flavors, as I said, 20,000 some odd species. Honeybees are different in that, number one, they make honey. There's only 5 species of bees that make honey out of the 20,000+ species of bees there are in total. So that's a pretty unique talent in and of itself. 5 species worldwide, 4 of them come from Asia. One of them is that Western European bee, which is the one that's become the honey bee of the United States. This is when we're talking about frame, this is what we're talking about. This is foundation, which in this case is a foundation called Plasticell, which is made out of formed plastic, as you can see. It has those little hexagonal imprints in it, all of which are coated with honeycomb. And the bees are beginning to pull the walls of those hexagonal imprints up into honeycomb. Wax is the most valuable resource in the hive because it requires 8 parts of honey to make a single part of wax. Bees start their building behaviors in certain predictable ways. One of them is that they'll move up in the center of the box first. This frame that we pulled out came from the north end of this hive. I pulled that one out first for a couple of reasons. I knew it was the least likely to have been built on because of the ways that the pattern in which they build. And it makes it the easiest one to pull out and therefore buy some space to work these other frames around in the box. This manipulation of frames easily is why Langstroth hives are the preferred hive in commercial operations, because you can do this kind of thing. Inspect the frames of the bees, and notice, if you look closely, take a profile view of it, you can see that they're building up wax on those hexagonal imprints. Over here on this side, the right side of the camera view, the wax there is at least 10 times higher than the wax on the other side of the frame.
It's a little bit different color too, isn't
That's because they're beginning to fill it with nectar. If you were holding this, you could tell that that side of the frame is significantly heavier.
Okay.
If we were to go down lower in the box, you would find that the combs are pulled out completely to their full depth, and in some cases, instead of having honey or nectar in them, they have the larvae of baby bees inside.
And are we going to see that today?
No, we won't get down that deep.
So different levels have different functions.
Right, exactly.
So this
highest level is the one that we refer to as beekeepers as a super, and when they fill this up with honey, you'll notice it's not as deep as these others. When they finish pulling this wax out up here, they'll fill it up with honey primarily, because in terms of its location in the box, we're at the honey storage level. Down here, these two have honey and pollen and brood in them, larvae.
Brood. Okay.
Up here
Where's
at this
the queen?
level, the queen is probably in the second box at the moment. And so by moving it into the center, I can help equalize the amount of wax pulling that they do.
So when you open up a hive, you can tell if the bees are happy or unhappy, right?
Yeah, exactly. You've noticed that you've been standing here, you're not in gear, and you've not had any problems at all. These bees are gentle. They haven't been boiling out of the hive angry with this. Part of that is just good hive management, being slow, cautious, not injuring bees. It's a wonderful reason to work gloveless, frankly, is it sort of gives you another incentive to be gentle.